Hey guys, it's James. It's another episode of Ask a Doctor. Thank you guys for, as usual, asking me the questions. Can't do these shows or episodes without people throwing me the questions. Again, thank you guys for throwing me some questions. I have 6 questions this week. Well, one's a two-parter, but technically it's 6. So we're going to go on the usual book of questions. And I'll see what chicken this week. First one comes from Jason M. He asks, Kong, Skull Island, any interest in seeing it? Yes and no. It doesn't really appeal to me so much. But that being said, it's really there to set up for a future. That and the American Godzilla are owned by the same company, Legendary Pictures. So obviously, this movie is more setting up for a future fight down the line. If you want to have like King Kong or Kong, I guess they're saying, be that big in a movie, instead of like 30 or 50 feet, it'll be like 100, 200 feet tall. So it's more. It'd be more like watching it for homework to see what they're going to, see what his abilities are and whatnot. How he could say contrast the American Godzilla down the line for when they do the King Kong versus Godzilla in 2020, I guess. So I don't know. I can't tell you why I'm not interested in seeing it. I don't know. It sort of kind of probably hasn't been there, done that, but I do have. I'll see it regardless, one way or another, just because I like monster movies. So yeah, I'll see it. Question number 2 is from Rob B. What superhero would you love to see in a movie that has not yet appeared in any? I really pretty much follow the big leaders so far. So obviously, like your Iron Man, your Superman, whatever in the comics. So it'd be more like second tier guys, like sidekicks or something, like your Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, or say your Scarlet Spider-Man clone. I don't think a Spider-Man clone movie would work, but it'd be interesting to try to see how they could figure that out. And I would like to see an accurate representation of John Henry Irons, or Steel, as it were. Because the 97 movie was terrible. It was just more Shaq in a terrible superhero costume that didn't really look like it was functional at all. So I figure with a decent budget, if they wanted to do, say, like they did that as Superman, obviously. Spoiler alert in the last film. So I don't see why they can't do like a Reign of the Supermen, where say John Henry Irons. I know they're gonna resolve the Superman death in Justice League, but I don't see why I can't have like somebody who's influenced by Superman, come up with something, and try to be true to the story of Steel in the comic book. So yeah, it'd just be more like the second tier characters for me, I guess. Like obviously the ones I'd already stated, because there's probably one or two big main heroes I haven't mentioned, but I don't really follow them. So number 3 is kind of a two-parter from the same guy. Ryan M. asks, it's Super Bowl week. Do you think Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time? Probably in this era. And you have to look at it based on different rules, different styles of gameplay, because I'm a Montana person, but back in the day, that football was a little rougher. it's less about pretty boys and image and try to keep clean for like advertising. It's but that being said, I know from what I've seen from Tom Brady this week, he's not really about the image about being the greatest. He has a love for the game. He's not there to sell a product or whatever. He's just there to play the game, and he seems to still have a love for the game. But is he a Montana? Mate, I can't say for certain if he's better than Montana. I mean, as far as I know, Montana's the paramount. But who's to say that 20 years ago Tom Brady could have done what Montana did or whatever. So I might say no, just because I'm a Montana guy. I'm sorry, Pats Nation, but it's just different times of different ways of playing a game. So Ryan M asks another question. How do you feel about Deflategate? I can tell you in riding a bike where I inflate the tires, in the inside. The cold does have an effect on them, but that's not to say you can't say inflate a football in say an 88-degree room and knowing that it's going to be like 20 degrees or so. But from what I understand, multiple teams have done it. It's just the Colts decided they were going to call the Pats on it. So what are you going to? I mean, let's fit. Every team cheats one way or another. It's just how it is. Football's football. It's just that the Colts decided they wanted to call the Pats out on it because it's the playoff game to the Super Bowl. So what are you going to do? Sean B asks, what really grinds your gears right now? Oh, there's a lot of things that's irritating me right now. Went to local McDonald's yesterday where I was trying to get the Grand Mac, the big giant Big Mac they have now, and they have the menu screens that say they have show the Grande Mac, all three of the Big Mac sandwiches, and I go to order and it's like, oh, we're not running that sandwich. What? So if you're not gonna make the sandwich, if you're not gonna run it, don't show the menu screen that prominently shows a Grand Mac on it, not once, not twice, but 3 screens. Usually having the world on my shoulders and having to pick up the slack for people irritates me. Like, I mean, is it really so hard to carry your own weight in life and do what you have to do instead of like say, well, I don't need to do it, I don't want to do it, so let's just somebody else. People that run in front of traffic because they're trying to catch a bus. It happened twice this week. Twice. Like, it just, I almost fell out of my seat one time because the bus had to, like, pull up fast brake. And the worst is, like, people who, stop the traffic, stop the bus when you get on, don't see themselves as doing anything wrong. And, are like, why are you disrespecting me for yelling at me for stopping the traffic? It's like, stupid. I'm sure there's more things that irritate me right now, but those are like the tops. Last question is an anonymous question. Do you think someone who I haven't talked to in years and suddenly gets angry at the mention of my name, that there may have been some deeper feelings from that end? Well, the way I figure it, it's not that they're angry because they let you go. It's just it's probably that they spend so much time trying to forget about what you've done or whatever, and then your your name comes up and they get reminded. Oh, I remember what he did or what she did or whatever. Ugh. Now I'm going to get back to them and freaking let them know that I still hate you. I mean, it's the same thing of having unrequited love. Like it can if a person reminds you by hearing their name, one way or another, it's if there was a deeper feeling, it'd be more cohesiveness, more positivity instead of an angry response. Obviously, I would think that's what I would think. I don't know what most people think, but I'm just going with the way I see it. I mean, if I hear someone's name, I would just go with what they've done, positive or negative, with the response. I mean, if somebody pissed me off and did something, I would have an angry response to them. But if I still had longing for them, it'd be more of a positive response. So I would just take an angry response as they're still angry about something, not they're angry because they're missing out on it and they regret it. They would, if it's regret, they would let you know. Oh, by the way, I'm still thinking about you, and I'd like to talk about it, whatever. But that's my theory. So yeah, those are the questions for this week. Hopefully we'll have some more questions to a show next week. So thank you guys. I appreciate everything. So as usual, if you have any questions, leave one in the comments below or go to these addresses. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. This has been Ask the Doctor. I'm James. See you later.